Hey, Shalom and Shalom and stuff. Source by giving no praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Shai, Hashem, Makal, Kadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS and honesty, brothers doing the work in truth while sincerity. This one is just a quick vid inspired, from certain things that have been happening. And it's this week, like I really, because obviously the Lord makes you go through things for your renewing, so you get refined, right, to be the perfect, obviously as perfect a creature for Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai as we will ever be able to be, right, in this flesh, right. So you get refined, you go through certain things, right. But when I was in the world, at the job or whatever, what have you, right, speaking to certain people about the situation, I really realized that, look, man, hey, brothers in this truth, man, hey, we different from the rest of these guys out there, right? And this is why the scripture says, and I got to be not unequally yoked with your unbelievers, right? You got to do certain things in the world. You got to go to work. You might have some acquaintances. Scriptures talk about make use of the mammon of this world. You might know someone that might be of use or whatever, what have you, right? But you might, I was telling them the situation, and the responses he was getting, it's like, man, you really stop and look. Cause like, look, man, hey, we different, man. Because there's certain moral moral codes that we have in this in this truth and this thing of ours, right? With the people in the world, right? They may say that, like, oh, I ain't gonna do this, I ain't gonna do that. But when push comes to shove, right, or even when push, when even a push, right, it just comes to a touch, when they presented in the last situation, they came and fold, right. But these scriptures and the fear of the Lord, right, we're supposed to stand firm in our belief, right. A case in point, the mark of the beast, RFID chip, right. When you read Revelation 13, right, we're of the understanding and the belief that the mark of the beast is the RFID microchip, right. And we ain't supposed to be just guys that say, oh, it's the mark of the beast and I'm not going to take it and then take it. Well, we're supposed to be strong in our belief, and that's what sets us apart from this world, right? The fact that, we stand for something, right? So we ain't of this world. This is John 15:18. It says, if the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you, right? So the world hates the Most High, right? You speak to you speak about certain things. Like, I mean, for instance, just today, a colleague was, speaking about another a female colleague, right? In what was a lustful manner, right? And I was about to say, but she's mad. And I looked at the guy, I was like, this nigga don't care, right? This nigga don't care that she's married. You just be like, whatever have you. But why? Because it's a wicked and adulterous generation, as it's spoken of in the scriptures, right? And they ultimately hate the law and despise the law of of the Most High, right? It says, if you were of the world would love his own, right? Yeah, and that's why ultimately, yeah, like I said, you'll be in the world doing what you got to do, right? Providing for yourself, for your family, or whatever, what have you, right? But ultimately, people, won't have, something bad to say about you per se, but the fact that you're on this truth, you give off a different aura. There's certain things you ain't gonna do, right? There are certain jokes you ain't gonna get down with, right? So because of that, although they should, because really in this truth, we're supposed to be model ambassadors for Yahweh Shai. People ain't supposed to, come back. People, what I like to say is your boss ain't supposed to come past you at camp and then, say, but at work, you're a dickhead or whatever. You do this or you do that. You're lazy, blah, 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 blah. Right? Because at the end of the day, we're supposed to be ambassadors for Yahweh Shai. Right? So no matter whatever, what they say, they may not agree with what we're saying, but they should at the very least be like, yeah, but he's a quote stand-up guy, right? Because that's when we go out there, we're representing Yahweh Shai. We're supposed to be given, we're supposed to be of good report among men, right? So it says, if you are of the world would love his own. But ultimately, because we're in this truth, it's like I said, we've got this aura about us, and people don't like that. People don't like the righteousness. Scriptures talk about they love darkness rather than light, right? Might even be in this chapter, right? It says, but because ye are not of the world, but I've chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. And if I'm not mistaken, this is actually even, yes, it's cosmos. This ain't even talking about the whole world. This is even talking about the elect. I mean, sorry. Well, Israel is the elect. But among the elect, there is an elect, right? So what it's talking about is, in the world of Israel, because that's what the word cosmos means, that cosmos, a sect, right? A harmonious arrangement of constitution, order, government. Right? Isaiah 2, you hear about the government of Israel, right? When it speaks about mountains, a representative of a government, right? So in the world of Israel, right, the Lord isn't even dealing with all Israel. You read that in John. Oh, I forgot what it is, but if you look for I was just trying to remember how it's phrased. John 17:9. That's it. Right. I pray for them. I pray not for the world. That's talking about. That's purely in reference to Israel. Right. In the wider sense, also look, the Lord ain't praying. The Lord ain't. Scripture says in Psalms 147, I believe, in 18, right, that the Lord ain't never dealt so with any of these nations. Right. They have not known the laws of the Lord. Right. So even in the world of Israel, the Lord's only dealing with elect for this period of time, right? And they gonna hate the men doing the work, right? They gonna hate, right? It says, remember the word that I said unto you: the servant is not greater than his Lord. Hey, look at it, man. They killed the Lord. They killed Yahweh Shai. That was Israel. They said, let his blood be upon us. So if they can kill the Lord, what more so us? They're going to persecute, or goes on to say that. It says, if they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. Right? But yeah, so it's, speaking on, the fact that we going to be hated in this thing, man. Right? We ain't of this world. We ain't, we're different. Right? This is 1 Corinthians 1:27. But the Most High hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And we are foolish, which is why, hey, you might be totally in the right, but because you said it, people don't want to hear it. Right? But more for them. Right? That's pride. They're the ones who would you call it, are in the wrong. Right? It says Sirach 13:23. Right, which says, when a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look, what he saith, they extol it to the clouds. Right, so for instance, when a Edomite says something, oh yeah, cool, yeah. Everyone wants to hear what he has to say. Right, so but if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. Right, so. And don't be amazed when Jake don't want to hear it. Because even amongst Jake, if you had like a Creflo Dollar saying something, people rather listen to him. Because why? He's got the suit, right? He's got the car, he's got the house, right? He's got the model life or whatever in this world. Right? So they'll listen to him before they listen to us, as a whole. Because the elect, the scriptures, Yahweh Shai said, my sheep hear my voice, right? So, but if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. Right? And hey, brothers can attest this. You might have accidentally used the wrong word, slip of the tongue, right? When you're explaining the point, and all of a sudden, right, however many minutes of great points you're making, all of a sudden these people in the world, then they you see how you don't even blah, 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 whatever, what have you. Right? Why? Because that's just the position we're in at the moment. Why? Because the Lord said, and that he hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, right? So your Brian Cox, your Stephen Hawking, all of them guys, ultimately we're wiser than them, right? But in the eyes of the world, we're the foolish, right? So then the Most High hath chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty, right? And the base things of the world, right? And the things which are despised hath the Most High chosen. So, and this thing that we're chosen, man, right? It says, yea, and things which are not, to bring to naught things that are, right? Doesn't fully tie in, I don't really know why I added this. Doesn't really fully tie in to the show, but it's it's going on the fact that we're the lowly, and people don't immediately consider what it is that we have to say. But the Lord likes that, right? The Lord likes that. But that's also another reason why we're why we're different. Right? It says 2 Corinthians 6:14, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion hath light with darkness? Right? So Hey, and like I said, in this week, because it's going through all of this sort of stuff, telling certain different people, right? It almost became interesting, just seeing how far, for instance, our people are gone, right? Certain things that Jake just weren't down with a long time ago. I was telling them the situation, right? And then you expecting them to be like, nah, fuck that, that's down. You heard that silence of, nah, I don't want to, say what I believe because I don't want to offend you or whatever, what have you, right? Or that guilt, whatever it is, right? But you get, you might tell someone something and their silence implies that they're down with that thing that you're bunning out, right? And that's why ultimately, goes, I believe, is one of the elder brothers from Dallas, right, basically made the statement, you go into the matrix and you come out, and that's what you got to do, because these people will infect your minds, and in truth, you'll get to a point, I said you'll be doing what you got to do in the world, whatever that is, right, and then you get to a point where you're just like, look, man, I ain't trying to be around you, man, right? You go to work, you do what you got to do, right, and you did, right? If there's a work function, that's up to you. If you can handle it, you go. If you can't handle it, you don't go. Whatever, what have you, right? But ultimately, that's why we're not equally yoked with these people. Because how can you? In fact, the next scripture goes onto the point exactly. It says Amos 3:3, can two walk together except they be agreed? And the answer is no, right? Because like I said, even today as I was leaving work, one of the colleagues speaking about a female, right, who's married, whatever, what have you, right? And it just irks you hearing man's, he's, oh yeah, and this, that, and the other, and all of that sort of stuff, right? Which I knew what he was talking about, but I wasn't looking at it from a lustful position. I was looking at it from that woman's an adulteress position, right? So I knew what he was talking about, but the way he was going on about it, he was going on about it in terms of lust. Like, oh yeah, I wanna, you can see, and that's that covetous, that thing of, yeah, I wanna get, I wanna get in them, right? And that shit's irksome, man, right? So if you can spend, so long listening to people just irking your spirit, I mean, you know, well, I believe that's all I have. But yeah, as always, Lord's Lord, that was edifying. And till the next time, I'm gonna say Shalom.